Hi there. So I've done quite a bit of development for the game today and just wanna jump in on stream. I was working on a different computer just now, but because I ran out of battery, so I switched to my desktop, which I stream with, and here I am. So let me just opening up Unity now on this new desktop, and I've done a couple of new features to the game now, but there are a couple of bugs that I have to fix. So I've made the character be able to jump, but now we have a problem that is well, I'm using a different method to do the detection for the floor, and I wanna figure that out and maybe implement rolling in the next hour. Let me see if I can do that. Then I can just do a quick summary of everything that I've done for today. I was really excited in the afternoon, but then because I couldn't get jumping to work, it was a little harder than I expected. So it's been the past hours been pretty frustrating, but I think I can change that. In fact, it's about to change. Let me just fix there was an issue with the line casting for ground detection right here, and that was driving me crazy. But otherwise, and everything else has been great actually. I'm just too used to things going that way, you know, that when a small error occurs that I can't fix, I just really annoys me. So one thing I can try instead of a raycast would be a line cast, because the terrain is a 2D collider, right? So it's frustrating as hell. Let me get this thing working. I'm gonna try using a different method to do the raycast here. Instead of line cast, I'll use a raycast. Let's see if this works. Okay, actually before that, let's just try doing a line cast all. Maybe that works, you know. If that works then. That works, right? It's that's it, you know. Like, instead of cotton, the jumping detection to work. I want to have a line because the line is just a little more accurate. But see, when I have a line here, it just doesn't work, man. It's really annoying. So the line cast doesn't work with line cast just doesn't work with when the entire line is inside the ground. It just doesn't work, and that's crazy, man. Why is the line cast working like the way it is? Sorry, the screen isn't showing. Just fix that. There we go. I'm gonna use a raycast instead and see whether that works. Makes no sense that, you know, but if I did a line cast, right, and if I go from, if I instead went from without the ground check buffer to with the ground check buffer, I think this might work, funnily enough. If it does, that means that the issue is with the entire line being in the how it works. Right. So the line cast has to be slanted, huh? Cannot be. This has got to be the silliest thing ever, you know. So the line cast has to be slanted. This doesn't make sense. let's try using a raycast instead, and we'll see whether that. I was stuck on an hour for this, and it turns out it's just an issue with how the line cast works. Physics 2D raycast. Let's try a raycast. And we want to be using, let's just do a ray as well. New ray. I think a raycast is the same as line cast though, so I don't think there should be that much of a difference. But never hurts to try. Just work a quick and dirty one. So there's a ray, and I'm just gonna have the ray be at a distance of this doesn't really work. That's because it's a 2D raycast, so I can't create a ray here. It's fine. And just put the arguments like that. Distance be 1. And then we have what is ground. If the raycast works, then that'll be fantastic. Otherwise, well, you know, there are no intersections, right? That's the problem. Like, cause the whole thing, for my collider, the whole thing is a composite. So when the ground stuff doesn't work, then the whole thing just malfunctions. So let me just slant my line then. I guess that's the only way. So what I was aiming for, the raycast, was I had so the collider is here, and what I had was just a line that's right under that detects the ground. But because that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to create a cross like that, and that probably works a little bit better. So I'm gonna modify my code as follows. We'll just have a forward moving line, and if that doesn't work, so it's just gonna do a raycast like this, and if the found collider is not null, that means that we found something we can run through. So if it doesn't find anything, then we just do a cross over, and so this one will be here, and here, like this. So the cross like this is really actually not very necessary, but you know, if you want to be thorough, that will be how you want to do it, in case like we have slanted ground and all this stuff. But again, that's not that big of an issue actually. But now the character is properly. Oh yeah, that feels good, right? So now the character is properly detecting the ground. There's this screen position error which I don't really care for. It doesn't really matter there. just glad we fixed. I'm just glad we fixed the issue with the grounding. And next thing I'm gonna go for is getting the rolling to work. But let's test out the jumping and stuff first. So what I'm gonna do is disable movement. So if the character is tripped up, or the character is not grounded, then we will not try and move the character. So the character is just gonna be free to do whatever the character is doing when they jump. I'm just gonna test out the run and jump behavior. Really excited about this now. I think it should. Fingers crossed, should work as per normal now. The guy is, well, reached the end of the action list. That's fair. Index is out of bounds. Okay, so this character just ran out of actions, and I just gotta modify the run and jump here. Just gonna get the character to walk a little bit and run, and then jump. So the character is going to run for a little bit longer, jump, and just gonna continue running after that forever. This will be a move. Okay, I think it's gonna be a lot better now. So the character is gonna just land and start running. What a jump. That was one hell of a jump, wasn't it? What is character doing? So maybe the jump force is too high. Let's fix that. Let's try 200. And maybe the duration of the jump needs to be shorter so the character doesn't jump twice. But 200 doesn't really take you off the ground that much. About 450. That's too strong as well. Let's try 320. That's too strong. Why was that stop? Wasn't smooth at all. I think getting the movement to be smooth is gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Like there is a weird stop after the character lands. That really shouldn't happen. Let's figure out what's going on here. So the character jumps. Oh wait, this is smooth. That was smooth. So the character jumps. The jump animation needs to be way faster. That's one thing I'm taking away from this. Jump animation is way too slow. Let's go for 30 frames. So I think when the animation is faster, actually the issue is not there, right? It's just a collider issue, I think. It's not really an issue with there's still this weird stop though that I really don't enjoy. So the character jumps and stops. So the stop, it's just, you know, like it's there and it kind of kills you, right? We have idle. So character lands and starts running. And that's fine, that works well. The character jumps. It's why is character going so high at times? I think it's because there are 2 jump commands here. So right here the character is flying through the air, the current movement is sprint. I want to see what happens when the character lands. Goes to run, right? But why is the velocity zeroed out? So we have the rigid body here. I want to see the info and the velocity. So right here, look at this velocity, right? It just zeroes itself out after landing because the character gets planted in the ground, that's why. Okay, let's do a landing animation. And I think that the planting in the ground is actually pretty nice. And I'm just gonna make it intentional instead of area spot landing. So let's do a landing animation for the character, and then whenever we change from his grounded true to false, we'll just zero out the velocity of the character and then have him play a short landing animation. And once that landing animation is done, then we can move on back to whatever other state the character wants to be in. So there are 4 frames of landing, and I can just make it be at 30 frames a second. And the landing frames are going to be playing like this. The character has to go back to its original posture, right? Otherwise, it doesn't really work that well. Let's see if this works. So animation is going to go like this. We have 6 frames of animation. I'm not sure if the landing animation now is really that necessary, but you know, because hey. The other issue is I have multiple frames of jump, which shouldn't be the case. Let me just make sure the jump happens only once. Because there are some actions that are single use actions, in which case you would exhaust the action after it's done, right? So this prevents the action from executing multiple times. So we want the jump to only happen once. We don't want it to happen multiple times. So it happens once and then we disable it. We disable it and then we just let it expire. So having just a single frame of jump makes everything more manageable, because that way is it because there isn't enough force? So one frame of jump, the jump doesn't work, huh? Or is it because the action is not enabled? I doubt the action is not enabled. It seems like the actions are running just well enough. I never thought that coding the jump would be as troublesome as it is. So this is where the jump executes itself, right? So the current action becomes 1, and we should see the jump, but it's not happening. Man, this whole jumping thing is most annoying thing ever. Shouldn't we be seeing the jump happen? So the jump is just not happening right now. What the hell? I think if I change this to disable, right? Actually, this would work. It's just because of how the variables are being set. It's the silliest thing ever. Now the jump should work. Gosh, stupidest thing ever. Oh, it's not working as well. So if it's not disabled, then fire this and then you set this to true. It's just because the variable is set to false in my action. So then the enable thing being true doesn't affect anything. So jump now. Great. Okay. I'm glad that was fixed fast. So then I can adjust the jump force based on I can just adjust that in the prefab itself. Jump force is pretty high. I've got to maybe reduce that value. It appears that if the jump force is not high enough, the guy doesn't leave the ground at all. 2000 is just the right. I guess it's just the right value, huh? For this to work. So now it doesn't work again. Oh, I think I know why. It's scriptable object. So this is stored in the scriptable object itself. So every time I change the value, it changes the scriptable object. So I can't use that then. Gotta use something else. Let me just use a different variable to track. Run action consume. Okay, this will work consistently now. It's no longer dependent on the scriptable object. I should have known not to save any data on the scriptable object itself. It wasn't very smart of me. Alright, we got the jump to work. I reduce the jump value, right? I think that probably makes the but we also want a nice like long arc. So this is run jump, so it's gonna run, jump, and run. Let's look at the scriptable object. Just do a run so that the jump doesn't fly over that fast. All right, let's try this out. I'm gonna have to add more actions over here, but we have a jump now, and the jump it's just a run and jump and run, right? So if I want him to run for a little bit longer to increase the duration. Let me also fix the issue with the update because it's removing the pawn. So glad I'm back to having progress again. So what I have here is a little bit of code that keeps auto-printing itself. But essentially what I want to do with this code is want the code whoa, it's running fast, that guy. How about if I just have him jog? Would that be easier? I also want him to be right outside, and let me see if he knows his way into the map. Poor guy. Alright, I think this one works. Let's just test out the game. Let's re-enable the spawn manager. And we have just one spawn right now. Just gonna add a whole bunch of other spawns as well. We have run and jump, a bunch of other behaviors. So here's what I've done for the day. I've gotten this to work pretty well, and there's supposed to be debris flying all around. And then the character, when they run, they can trip over the debris and die. And then I'll have to make things a little more complex, otherwise this isn't gonna work. So he runs, he falls, and I can crush him. The guy is invulnerable, man, when he falls. Gotta figure out what's wrong with it. You know what would be really trolly is if one funny thing would be if I create a walk and run. So this would be called walk run alternation. What this guy will do is he will walk for a while, then he'll run, he'll walk for. So this will be a loop that will. Let me just show you how that looks like. It's pretty funny. So just add him to the player character, and then you see this is walk run alternation. And that's the walk run alternation. Gonna modify that a little bit and get a much shorter. This looks funnier, right? And let me just show you how it looks like. Let's get that one going. I'm getting ideas for a whole bunch of you know, different kinds of behavior, like for just this one character. But I'll have to expand the system a little bit more. Oh yeah, what I want is a sprint actually. It's gonna be 0.3 here, 0.3 here as well. He's just gonna be trying to juke you, you know. Let's see how that. This guy is just walking, man. There he goes. This guy falls over. Poor guy. You know, I think when a guy trips, right, he's gotta fly a little bit higher, and that I think would be pretty funny. Let's see how that works. So on the trip function, we have a lot more force. Let's try, you know, maybe 500. It's just like a mini jump, right? So now what I'm gonna do is try and get someone to trip. Let's be really cute. Why is everyone walking now, man? Trip is still not making people fly. I wanna see him fly. The guy is not flying at all, man. Add force, tripping. What if I change this to 2000? Let's see if that works. That guy should fly. Holy, like when you trip, you fly, you know, you don't just slide along the floor. Why is it that when the guy trips, right, he doesn't die from that stuff? This doesn't make sense at all. Let's try 1002. Let's see him trip. Okay, as much as I want to continue on this, I think that'll be all for today. I've got an early day tomorrow, so I'm gonna go and get some rest.